Don Le Batard.
I had a dream last night about the show that Stugotz was filling in for Joe Buck on his podcast, and Allison called me to tell me what a great job Stugotz did. And I realized this is a dream because Allison would never praise Stugotz. Stugotz would never fill in for Joe Buck's podcast that may or may not even exist.
And if I did, it wouldn't be good.
Actually, a lot of factual errors in your dream.
What a weird dream.
Yeah.
Stugotz.
So that's the height of your fantasies, Guillermo.
Well, maybe it was a nightmare. I don't know. It happened when I was asleep.
Thank you, Guillermo.
That's how dreams work.
Yep.
This is the Don Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Protecting your small business is a big deal. Cover what you've worked for. Visit Progressive.com today. Actually, ProgressiveCommercial.com today. Guest on the Dan Le Batard Show.
What happened? What happened? You're reading.
There are these new. I'm not going to blame Roy. There are these new Progressive liners here. They used to be the same one, and they have changed it up to home insurance and small business insurance and. Visit ProgressiveCommercial.com. It's all different websites now, and I was not alerted to this, so I'm reading these for the first time. I probably should have read it before. But that's not me blaming Roy. That's me blaming myself.
Chicago Cubs.
Yeah! Nice. ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Protecting your small business is a big deal. Cover what you've worked so hard for. You can do so when you visit ProgressiveCommercial.com. Guest on the Dan Le Batard Show appear via the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line. Adam Schefter going to be there in just a second. Here's your SportsCenter update. Kevin Durant says that he doesn't want to be an all-star game captain. All he would rather do is play in the game. Of course, because that's the easier path. Greg Popovich said that LaMarcus Aldridge requested a trade over the summer, but also said that led to self-examination and subsequent resurgence. It's a tough word for me.
That's a couple, no, that's a bad couple back there. Back to back.
Subsequent resurgence.
That's not your teammates knowing you very well. Like, that's not even fair. Subsequent resurgence. Like, why? Come on.
Roy, I need to know, are you keeping it as is because you want me to butcher it, or what are you doing here?
That's right.
Okay.
That's true.
And finally, HBO has officially announced True Detective Season 3 will air in 2019.
Harlem Globetrotters.
Yeah! For all the latest headlines and information, tune in the SportsCenter on ESPN Radio all throughout the day.
Roy, do me a favor. Before 11:30, write the hardest one you've ever written.
Don't you dare.
Before 11:30.
Come on, man.
All right? In 30 minutes, the hardest one that's ever been written. That's what I would like you to do. Nothing more than that for the next 30 minutes. The hardest sports flash to ever read. Wow. Is coming up in 30 minutes. Adam Schefter, the playoffs are coming up here. Adam, thank you as always for making time for us. I'm wondering here, the Patriots and the reporting by Seth Wickersham that was pretty exhaustive and pretty solid from what I could tell journalistically. Have you done any subsequent confirming or reporting that would make you understand a little bit better what's going on in New England?
Listen, they go about this stuff, Dan. They thrive on this stuff. Bill Belichick has a sign on his door inside their training complex that says avoid distractions. And they care, but they don't care what Seth Wickersham is writing. They are focused in on Saturday. That's what they do. And something like that, I believe, just fuels this team and bands them together as the playoffs get underway. And I think that's what you're going to see from New England, a focused team that's trying to block out the role. If you saw Tom Brady at his press conference yesterday, they brought up the story. They brought up his own Facebook documentary that has been promoted this week, and he wouldn't even talk about that. They are singular in their thinking right now. I don't think that they're too concerned about that right now.
But is it because they're upset about all this, or because the Titans are coming to their home stadium?
It's just, that's what they do at this time of the year. That's who they are.
All right, well, can I ask you, hold on, Adam, because I don't mean to be a jerk about this, okay? Because what you said is true. It's absolutely true. But what I was asking you is the idea of problems between Brady, Kraft, and Belichick over the Garoppolo trade. Have you been able to confirm the reporting of Seth Wickersham? I know the Patriots will be focused, but they're denying this. And Brady was denying that on WEEI that any of this is so. So I'm just wondering, you as our most credible football reporter, like how real is that story?
Listen, Seth spent months on that story. I'm not going to doubt Seth. It's a tough question for me to answer, Dan. I don't have an answer to it. I don't.
Okay.
Right? I don't know what's real and what's not. Okay.
Okay.
And it's not my job to judge who's right and who's wrong here.
Uh-huh. No, but you
I
understand.
don't want to do that.
No, I'm sorry if I'm putting you in a bad spot. I'm just wondering what we know to be true, because I happen to believe that Seth Wickersham is an exceptional reporter, so I believe his version of the events. They seemed exhaustively reported. This guy might be the best guy right now in sports magazine writing.
I think the reason Dan's asking,
I'm not arguing with that.
Right.
I'm not. You got no. Seth Wickersham's a great reporter. He's very talented. You got no argument for me there. None.
Right, and you're a great reporter, and I think the reason Dan's asking are people are starting to they're going against. Bill Simmons, for instance, has picked apart Seth Wickersham's report. He wrote his own article saying some of the stuff isn't true.
I just would like to know what Adam Schefter thinks might be true, I guess is what I'm asking you. And if you're not comfortable with that, I'll move on. But that's what I'm asking you, because you're a foremost authority on this stuff.
Right, and I appreciate the question. I'd say let's move on.
Okay, very good. Chris Sims going to join us in an hour and a half. Fair enough. No, I love Schefter.
Wait, but what happened there?
I don't know what happened there. I'm not clear on what happened there.
But you got rattled in a way where you defaulted to promoting Chris Sims in an hour and a half.
Because I want you to understand, the last thing in the world I want to be doing right now is making Adam Schefter mad.
Roll it on.
Basically, Dan, you're asking me to pick a side. Right?
No, but I'm not, Adam. I'm asking you, what do you know? I'm not asking you to pick a side. I'm asking you, what do you know about what's happening at the top of the Patriots organization? I don't want you to take a side. I'm just curious. Like, it would make sense. But, Adam, the Garoppolo trade didn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense.
No, listen, when I got that message that day, I was stunned that he was being traded. I was, what? Because at that point in time, they were determined not to deal him. And there was, I think we could say that something changed there in that last week. I don't know what that was. Okay, we've never figured it out.
I guess that's what I'm asking you. That's all I was asking you. I didn't want to turn this into a beef of you and Seth Wickersham and let's move on and you get mad at me.
Yeah. No. Listen, that's clear. They were in the camp. That they were not going to trade Garoppolo, and I think it was pretty apparent to a lot of people that they weren't going to move on from Garoppolo. And then on Monday, October 30th, they moved on from Garoppolo.
Right.
And I'll be honest with you, there's never been an instance where you say, well, why did this happen? And so Seth offered up through weeks and months of reporting his own theory as to what happened there. I'm not going to argue against his theory.
Doesn't seem like we're moving on.
Guillermo, can you put it on the poll, please? Is Dan badgering a poor, lovable Adam Schefter?
When you say move on, Adam, do you want us to move on to like a different sport?
Well, that's what I said.
Because you cover the NBA. What's happening with the Cavs? What's going on there?
Yeah, they are a disaster. Have you ever seen the Cleveland Cavaliers play like this in back-to-back weeks? It's unbelievable. I can't believe that they're getting just rocked night after night, and their defense stinks.
But Schefter, that's what I was just asking you to give us on the Patriots, and you made me move on. I was like, why couldn't you do that about the Patriots?
Much more comfortable talking about the Cleveland Cavaliers defense. Much more comfortable.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
All right, well, I want to go back to football. Is that okay?
Yeah, well, I want to know what's... Yeah.
Okay, because I'm interested. Do you think, is there any possibility at all, Adam, that Nick Saban would actually leave the University of Alabama and take the Giants job or another job?
That's not going to happen, okay? So for any talk that's been out there, I'm sure there may have been a point in time where in his own mind he wondered, well, what if the Giants came after me? That would be a great organization to work for. I do not believe that is a part of his thinking at this point in time. I do not believe it has entered into his thinking. I do not believe that idea is being entertained. And Nick Saban, I believe, has as much chance of coaching the New York Giants this year as Bill Belichick does.
Adam Schefter with us on ESPN Radio. I'm just wondering, when have you had, Adam, bad encounters in the sport where a player or a coach is just so livid with you? What's the closest that someone has been to punching or getting into a loud altercation with Adam Schefter?
What makes you ask that question today, Dan?
Because it said Warren Sapp on a sheet of paper I had here, and I wanted to tell that story later, and it just made me think of that. Did you have something happen in the last couple of days?
No, I think the nature of our jobs is adversarial, and so at various points on a regular basis, I think you're going to upset people with things that you say or do. There are going to be things out there that they're not pleased about, and that happens often. often. So, I mean, you know, I mean, where do you even begin?
I'd like to know.
It sounds like you want to give one up
Adam,
right now.
I don't think that people know this side of your job. I don't think that people know. I don't think that the people listening right now would say that Adam Schefter has an adversarial relationship with anyone in football.
Well, I would disagree with that. I would tell you that at various points this season, on an almost weekly basis, you get a call or a text from somebody. I could tell you on the final Sunday of the season, I'm not going to name the team, what incited or anything. I got a call from a guy that was so incensed about something, F-bombs up and down, irate about something. And I don't want to say that's unusual. Do you, we go back to this year, Mort and I on the Roger Goodell contract. I can tell you that didn't sit real well with people. Mort and I on Jerry Jones after Roger Goodell early in the season. That didn't sit well with people.
Adam, I don't think people understand the journalist you are. So I don't mean anything by insult when I say I don't think of that people are thinking of you having an adversarial relationship with these people. Am I wrong about this?
Listen, no, I understand it. Listen, I've been fortunate and honored to do this job for 28 years, and so you get to know a lot of people. And the one thing that I've always tried to do is I always try to treat people fairly, and I never intentionally go out of my way. But inevitably, sometimes you're going to say something or report something that's going to upset somebody. That does happen, right? So, and again, I think it happens more often than people realize. And I can't tell you, it is so nice to have a peaceful Sunday where we go into Sunday Countdown and we report what we're going to report.
Wow. Adam Schefter,
and you don't hear from someone.
Your football Sundays are a nightmare. Someone's going to yell at you every football Sunday. Yours, I thought
I don't want to. No.
I thought it was a joy.
Dramatic.
I thought it was a joy. You're waiting for these terrible Sunday calls.
Who hates you the most?
Who hates Adam Schefter the most?
Hates you the most?
Who's the call? Who's the call that ends up at the caller ID and you're like, oh no, this guy's going to drown me in F-bombs again?
Well, you know that as soon as you report on something and all of a sudden you hear from that team or that, okay, what's the problem? You're like, and you got to explain here. I'm telling you what I know, and I don't want to overstate it and overdrama it, but it's a fairly regular occurrence, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's your life, Adam. I don't know.
Well, I'm telling you, it's a fairly regular occurrence.
All right. We love you, buddy. Thank you for being on with us.
Final question. Chris Paul going to stay with the Rockets after the season?
I will have to speak to him about that. I think it was pretty apparent he was going to leave L.A. after last year. I think he likes Houston so far this year. He's played very well, carrying the team in the Harden injury.
Hold on. If I may, Adam, I would like to apologize for what I've done to you this segment. I would like you to take basketball calls and only basketball calls next segment.
I would love to do that.
Let's do that. Okay, we're going to do that.
Please.
And I want you to accept that as my really genuinely humble apology because I was a jackass this entire segment. So
you have nothing to apologize for. You're doing your job. You're asking whatever you find interesting. You always come at things from a different angle than most people. It's what makes you great.
Right.
You did it today.
No.
You seemed hurt. You seemed a little bit angry.
What makes me great is that I'm getting Adam Schefter for free to work the next segment and do my job for me.
Yes!
Dan Le Batard.
It's a beautiful sport. Basketball is just hugely graceful.
Stugotz.
In the Western Conference.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio.
Adam Schefter, my apologies for badgering him last segment. We're going to make it up to him by allowing him to just spew basketball opinions all over the place. Let's take calls fast as we can, and let's mow through these callers.
Time to mow through some callers. Mow. Callers. We're going to mow through those callers like there is nobody business. Mow your boat. That doesn't make sense. Mowing through callers, buddy.
Mowing on.
We're mowing on here on ESPN Radio. Blue, you're on with Adam Schefter. Blue, what's your question for Adam Schefter?
Hey, Schefter, I'm an Atlanta Hawks fan. Do the Hawks have a future at all in the NBA? And also, what is your opinion on LeVar Ball?
Ball.
All right, really a truly terrible call. A truly terrible call. Go ahead, though, Adam.
The Hawks are in rebuilding mode right now. They got some young guys, but they need a high draft pick. They need some money to spend. They're going to have the cap space to go do that. I expect for them to make moves. listen, they're one of the worst teams in the league, but I think that they will have a chance to rebuild that team.
You see he's good at it. He is quick, and Schefter can speak in sound bites. Callers, be better, okay? You need to be faster, and you need to be better.
What are your thoughts on LeVar Bell?
LeVar Ball, the guy is all over the map. I think he's doing a disservice to his sons. I think he's a great marketing guy, great pitchman, but I think it's unfair to his children.
Brian, you're on with Adam Schefter. Brian,
Great.
go ahead.
Great.
Yes, this is great. This is the best thing we've ever done. Brian, you're on with Adam Schefter. Go ahead.
Yes, Adam. Bam Adebayo, he dunks on the way up.
Yeah.
What say you?
The guys have been unbelievable. I mean, they're missing so many players, the Heat, lately. Deion Waiters now out for the year, and Bam Adebayo has stepped in there and played very well in a backup role. And listen, they still seem to be limiting Whiteside's minutes. I love the way Adebayo's played. Great job by him.
Yes.
You are good.
Yes, he's great.
Mow it on!
Jared, you're on with Adam Schefter. Mow it on. Go, Jared.
Hi, Adam. In your professional opinion, would Kawhi Leonard operate best as a skinny Calais Campbell, a Cam Chancellor-style safety? Or
You ruined it. You really ruined it. Alex, faster!
Hey, Adam, what are you talking?
The 76ers, tell them.
The 76ers, listen, we've trusted the process. They are rewarding us for the process. A disappointing showing in London. They got up early on the Celtics, couldn't maintain that lead, but love Embiid, love Simmons. J.J. Redick has brought some veteran leadership to that team. I like what's going on in Philadelphia.
Adam, you're really fast,
Yes.
but we need you to be faster. You got to be faster. And callers, good God.
Let's go.
Good God, callers. Andy, you're on with Adam Schefter. Go.
Minnesota Timberwolves.
Excellent.
Timberwolves.
Who?
Timberwolves.
What was the question?
Timberwolves.
Just the Timberwolves.
Go.
Timberwolves, listen, Jimmy Butler's been an MVP candidate. Cat is coming on, and Tibbs is doing his job.
Yeah.
Watch out for the T-Wolves.
Yes.
Mow it on!
Yes. Cat is coming on. Ron, you're on with Schefter. Fast. Run.
Will the Thunder make the playoffs?
Will the Thunder make the playoffs?
Too much talent to not make the playoffs. They will bounce back, but they've been a disappointment so far.
Jeff, you're on with Schefter. Go.
Oh, it's Jeff.
They're not keeping up with
No,
us.
they're not. You're
No.
great at this. They stink. Mitch, you're on with Schefter. Go.
In the old NBA Finals games, they used to do a tip-off at every quarter. Would you like to see that rule
Oh,
replaced?
for the love of
No,
God.
I want to hear his
I've
opinion on
never
this.
given that an ounce of thought.
Okay, good.
I mean, for the love of God.
Mow
man.
it on!
Andy, you're on with Adam Schefter. Go ahead, Andy.
Adam, do you know how to find a hitman?
Adam, it's
Jeff
right.
Galooly, get me his number.
Jeff Galooly. Yes, look at that.
Nice.
Tanya Harding's man. Zach, you're on with Schefter. Go.
When LeBron James retires, what jersey are you going to take with him? Miami, Cleveland, or L.A.?
LeBron retirement jersey. What do you got, Schefter?
Did they take a jersey in the NBA? If he takes a jersey, it's going to be the Cavs or maybe even the Lakers once he goes off to L.A.
What?
He won the most championships here.
What?
Get rid of this
Did
guy.
you just break that show? Did you just break that story? Schefter reports LeBron to L.A.
I'll leave that to Woj.
All right. Good talking to you, Schefter. We'll do that with you more often. Thank you, sir.
I love that. Have a great weekend, guys.
All right, see you, Adam. That was Straight Talk. Is brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless, nationwide coverage on America's largest and most dependable 4G LTE networks.
I am stunned. I hope over the last 30 minutes, I don't know if that was any good or not, but to me, the best part in it is the idea of Adam Schefter has peeled off his suit. He wants to take. Adam Schefter wants the hot take. He doesn't want to. He is broken free of the repressions of the starched suit of football reporting. He wants to hot take. When have you heard Adam Schefter have that much fun?
Never.
Don Batard.
Man, I hope the future looks like whatever Elon Musk is imagining.
Imagining is the right word because he ain't doing anything. He's just thinking about it.
I don't think it's fair to say he's not doing
Well,
anything.
what's he doing? I mean,
Stugotz.
seriously, what does he produce, though?
Tesla?
Well, besides that, the ideas are great. The ideas are great. Great ideas. The execution.
I mean, of course, because they've never been done before.
Well, let's go.
Okay.
This is the Don Batard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio.
Is this the hard one?
Yeah.
Degree of difficulty. Roy, where are you putting the degree of difficulty on this sports flash?
I have it at a 9.
All right.
I'm going to have a shot. I didn't ask anyone how to pronounce anything, right, Roy?
No, you did not.
All right. Buckle up, Dan. This is your fault.
That's correct.
Yep.
So you are now blaming me for something that's about to happen? That's a fine.
Well, I'm not blaming you.
No,
I'm just pointing out a fact. And the fact is, this is your fault.
But okay.
Maybe I'll nail it all.
All right. Maybe you will.
I owe money? Do I owe money?
No,
Do I owe money?
No,
Hold on. Let's see if I...
No, I don't want to do this. Let's go ahead and read it.
All right. ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Guest on the Dan Le Batard Show appear via the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line. Chris Sims is going to join us there in an hour, 12:30 Eastern.
Our guest list has been flimsy for
It's been Chris Sims.
I mean, it's just Chris Sims. Every day I look at the sheet, and it's like Chris Sims. I'm like, what is this?
And Schefter. Here's your Sports Center update. Schefter was tremendous, man.
Yes, he was. We're going to do that more often with him.
He enjoyed it.
It was like watching him dance. It was like watching Adam Schefter dance at a wedding. He was so happy to get something other than football question.
Stop stalling. Let's do this.
I know, but you do realize that Adam Schefter has been imprisoned by that football suit that he wears.
Yes.
And that was Adam Schefter. He's been in solitary confinement for 15 years, and that 5 minutes right there was freedom for him.
Yes. People want my opinions on basketball.
What? You want opinions? I don't have to report? I don't have to say according to my sources?
All right, here we go. The World Boxing Super Series
Hold on
tournament.
a second, Stugotz.
It's like when you're stuck in a marriage you don't want to be in. You get a divorce. Sure, you lose half your stuff, but you're finally free.
You're better at this Colin Cowherd thing than Mike Ryan.
This guy over here.
Make a connection point in Middle America. Make a connection point in Middle America. It'll make you relatable to the viewers as you live in Los Angeles in your beach home.
All right, here we go. The hardest sports center in the history of sports centers. The World Boxing Super Series tournament has been scheduled. 2 cruiserweight fights in the Super Series include Alexander Usyk versus Marius Bradis on January 27th, and another fight with title holder Marat Gassiev taking on Junior Dorticus.
Wait a minute, there was a speed bump. That guy's got 4 R's in his name. All back
Junior Dorticus.
It sounds like you're pulling a hamstring.
Junior
Dorticus?
There we go. On February 3rd. It sounds better the way I did it, to be honest. Junior Dorticus.
Yeah, you were the third Buffer brother.
Also, Callum Smith will fight Jurgen Bromber. That wasn't even close.
Brommer.
Well, that's not Brommer. There's an H in there.
Wait a minute. So you want to make it hard? Hold on a second. You're someone who always swallows your H's. Now you stumbled upon an H, and this one is the one you wanted to pronounce, the one in the middle of Brommer?
Yeah.
You wanted to make it Bramer.
Bramer, yeah. Jurgen Bramer Brommer is a super middleweight bout at Arena Nürburgring. Oh, my God. Hold on. Dan, I don't know what to do with this. Also, Callum Smith will fight Jurgen Brommer.
Wait a minute. The crew is saying you're skipping something.
I'm not skipping anything. I'm going to go. I'm trying to. I'm going back to the beginning. Is what I'm doing. Roy knows what I'm doing. Also, Callum Smith will fight Jurgen Brommer in a super middleweight bout. That's the word I get wrong. At Arena Nürburgring, Verschenstrong in Nuremberg, Germany.
Come on. Nuremberg, yes.
On February 29th.
That's a big one.
And finally, a Florida man who was arrested for trying to steal from a grocery store was caught with a full rack of ribs in his pants.
Oh, man, I'd been drinking, and you get hungry, and I didn't want everyone to see it.
Right.
And so I just slid them down my pants.
Which is the reason Dan also hid, and police searched and found this. They uncovered 9 pieces of fried chicken, 2 packs of hamburger buns, and some mashed potatoes.
Again, my excuse the excuse the first time is the same as the second. I'd been drinking, and that was the end of the night.
Right.
And that's where I wanted to end the night.
All right. For all the latest headlines and information, tune in to the Sports Center on ESPN Radio all throughout the day.
You have that fight on February 29th?
It's 24th.
There's no February 29th.
I do think you said February 29th.
Well, what does that look like to you, man?
Did you really say? But okay.
Well, no. Roy wrote it in pencil. I mean,
so we're blaming Roy. No, it says 24th. We need to check your eyesight. It clearly says 24th, and my eyesight's not very good.
My eyesight's been bad for a while, man. I'm holding the phone further and further away from my face.
We are your grandfather's radio show. It's terrible. So let's make fun of Stugotz with today's. Oh, he's hurt his neck. He's been spending the entire show trying to get a masseuse to come here to massage his neck. He downloaded an app that's going to summon a masseuse here in moments.
I downloaded this Soothe app, okay? Everyone's been telling me about it. They come and do massages. They come to your home, and I hear it's fantastic, and I want to use them. But the problem is they don't have anything less than 60 minutes right now. And I don't think we want a massage on air for 60 minutes. I just want like a 15-minute little massage.
We actually ordered one, and I got an alert saying they were here, so I got to get them in.
All right. Very good. But before you do that, can you please just play the Stugotz of the day? I want to do the most despicable person in sports today.
Whoa.
It is time to find out who in sports has no redeeming qualities and is generally unlikable. Let's see who acted most like a Stugotz.
Today's Stugotz of the day comes via audio. Liam Neeson was promoting a movie, and he was asked about the pay discrepancy between men and women in Hollywood. And he had a very thoughtful answer.
Oh, no.
And stay tuned to where you can find out how he's like Stugotz. This is courtesy of the AP.
There's a lot of discussion about it and a lot of healthy and necessary discussion about it because the disparity sometimes is disgraceful.
How do you think we can move past that?
We're starting, and it has to start, and it's starting with these extraordinary actresses and brave ladies, and we as men have got to be part of it. We started it, so we have to be part of the solution.
So would you take a pay cut to kind of equal things out?
No. Pay cut? No, that's going too far. No, there has to be parity. There just has to be.
Are you going to play it again?
Oh, I need to hear that again.
It's so good.
Yeah. I want him to be equal. No, not that equal. What the hell are you talking about, lady?
Which part reminded you guys of me?
Oh, my God. Saying all the right things. And then at the end, what the hell are you talking about? Let's play that again. This is Liam Neeson talking very sternly about the societal problem that actresses in Hollywood are not paid nearly as much as men, and he's got part of the solution for you. The part of the solution that is him taking a pay cut is not part of the solution.
There's a lot of discussion about it and a lot of healthy and necessary discussion about it because the disparity sometimes is disgraceful.
How do you think we can move past that?
We're starting, and it has to start, and it's starting with these extraordinary actresses and brave ladies, and we as men have got to be part of it. We started it, so we have to be part of the solution.
So would you take a pay cut to kind of equal things out?
No. Pay cut? No, that's going too far. No, there has to be parity. There just has to be.
Mike.
No.
But I don't think anyone has issued a firmer denial than simply Liam Neeson's no. It's better than his lines in Taken. Like, this is the best acting Liam Neeson has ever done. Get that clip as well of Liam Neeson calling me Doug several times or Dave during Highly Questionable. But here is Liam Neeson with the most and best, the best denial ever.
Pay cut? No, that's going too far.
No, but how about the initial no? The initial no. Like, that is the secondary part of the absurdity of what he's just been asked. But the first part was the most efficient denial in the history of denial, where, like, what you're saying, like, the idiot is baked into it and you don't even hear it.
So would you take a pay cut to kind of equal things out?
No. Pay cut? No, that's going too far.
It is amazing. You know what else is amazing is this Soothe app, man. Like, I haven't even seen the person who is working on me right now, but they just walk right into the studio and they're massaging me right now. I already feel better.
All right.
Let me see this person.
Ah! Can you play the sound? Can you play the sound of Liam Neeson getting me by the wrong name?
If I had asked you many years ago, hey, action star, this is where you're going to end up, action star, would you have said, yeah, that's probably so?
No, not in a million years, David. Not in a million years.
Liam, thank you for being on with us. We appreciate the time.
Thanks, David. Take care.
Don Batard. Nobody in my life has as many unlikable traits who I still like as Stugotz.
Stugotz.
Would you have taken the pay cut?
No. Pay cuts. Please. The hell are you talking to?
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio.
one of the best Stugotzes of the days I've ever heard.
Oh, fantastic.
Thanks, David.
So you guys have put me in a terrible position with Warren Sapp, all of you.
Oh.
I've never done wrong by Warren Sapp.
Right. I mean, you pointed out his bad breath, but other than that,
somebody came on the show one time and told us that he had chronic halitosis. That was not me. It was not a question by me, I don't think.
You don't think?
And then since then, Stugotz has been repeating this anytime Warren Sapp's name gets mentioned. And I keep telling Stugotz, please stop that, because Warren Sapp he's not going to be discerning about these things. He's not going to come after you because you said it.
Right.
He's going to come after me. And so what has happened is, this is the first part. My bad planning is the first problem, because he reached out after all of this happened, and I told him I would get back to him, but then I went on a long 50-year anniversary cruise with my parents and stuff, and so I didn't get back to Warren Sapp.
Okay.
And so that's not good. After I told him I was going to get back to him. But then I made a call the other day. We're doing a music event here soon. Me and my brother are doing a music event, and Luther Campbell is going to be a part of it. And so I was calling Luke the other day to ask him something.
Right.
And as I'm asking him, he's roaring and laughing. And he's just roaring and laughing because he always is. He's always having a good time. And he's like, hey, Batard, here's Sapp. And I'm like, no.
No.
I'm like, no. No, but he's gone. He's gone. Like, the phone is now being handed. I'm like, oh, my God.
Right.
And there are people in the house with me. They're looking at me, and they see I'm like, oh, no.
Right.
And so he gets on the phone, and this is where it starts. Who am I speaking to is where he starts. And I'm like, Warren, listen, I owe you a phone call. Do me the courtesy, please, of telling me who I am speaking to. And I'm like, Warren, I was just telling Luther that I owe you a phone call. It's Dan Batard. Click.
Oh, wow. Wow.
He didn't just leave it with a click. What he did is he walked off, and Luther came back and was laughing still and is like, that's just Sapp, man.
Oh, I thought he melted the phone.
That's just Sapp. Sapp's crazy.
You really shouldn't have said those things, I mean.
See, this is the thing, though. I knew this was going to happen. Now what am I going to do? When Warren Sapp, like, we have some sort of incident, and the headlines are Warren Sapp decapitates Dan Batard for criticizing his breath. When I didn't do it, you did it.
I didn't do anything, man. You gave me information, and I used it.
What kind of denial is that from you? Neeson is stronger.
No.